Hello and welcome to a late night hashtag crypto trading video heading into the 29th day of November 2017. My name is Derek and welcome. Let's start off within the Ether. Everything you do within your own risk, own reward. This is Ether crossed with the US fiat currency. Simple break of support. Oh, you wait for this, yada, yada, yada. And I barely come and tell you it's happening now. Well, this one's happening now. But whenever you have a situation where you're looking to make a play on something, it's very common to see markets have huge gains and huge spikes after it breaks major resistance levels. I don't know how many times I've seen it. And of course, the charts I show over and over again, I don't know why this has been doing this. It's been doing it for a while. I really can't understand it. So if it happens a bit more, just sorry about it. But when it breaks resistance before April, big gain. Same thing with all of the other breaks that occur as well. And I always talk about a significant break above, and there's a couple of reasons for that. And the biggest one is, overall, you want to ensure that it's just a small amount of an extra cost, but it's more likely, if it's going to break resistance and then go lower, that it doesn't do it by too much and it's just a tiny pierce. So that's, I think, the best way of putting it, because here it's good time to buy, but even though it works out to buy and hold in here, it gets very dangerous to buy at those levels. But even thinking of being able to buy on the early stages of when it breaks out enables you to sell just moments later, a lot of profit, as you can buy in here and then you can sell all over the place as the market rises. And the same scenario has a decent chance of coming into play. So there could be a lot of upside potential available within this, because to me, it looks like it's at a very decent buy signal. Litecoin basically doing the same thing. And it had a clear break of resistance back in here. And it didn't do so well, at least for any type of long positions. A few people got shaked out, scared in this point in here. But the market rebounded, and that's a very, very strong feature. I don't know what I would name a pattern like this, but it's just this whole shape as it's coming through. But what I see, and what of course is obviously shown, is how the 18 average is moving its direction. It's supporting the 18 average of highs very, very well. It's now broken that last level of resistance in here, albeit barely. And the potential gains for this could be very, very interesting. I don't know if I've ever really seen much of a pattern like this, which is why I'm enthusiastic and I think very promising. Good likelihood, risk return probability odds moving forward for myself within what is my second highest holding, that being Litecoin. Ethereum very high on that list for me as well. Vertcoin, I used to say Vertcoin, but I remember back in my French class days in school, green in French was vert. And the picture of the coin is in green, so I'm presuming it's French for Vertcoin. But regardless of how it's pronounced, profits is pronounced profits. Breaks resistance, decent size gain, and looking like it is trying to escape the 18 average of highs and do its thing. Breaks resistance again, you'd expect another decent size leg higher. A lot of these altcoins against the US dollar showing lots of promise. Dash has already broken its level of resistance. it's a definite clear break, and it's still not too late, I don't think, but that's why there's a gap time of a clear break to it's not too late in the breakout to the point of, and of course I can refer to in here, because buying anywhere in these high levels, although again buying and holding has worked every single time, it's been a scary situation. Monero on the 3-day time frame, well, it's just starting to show a clear break of resistance as well. The last time it did such would have been somewhere around here. And the final one, Bitcoin, which is the one I talk about more than all the others, on its 3-day chart, well, it's just keeps going higher and higher. It's broken this trend line. I guess that's just a new clear break, but cryptos are going wild to the upside. Obviously, Bitcoin has performed all of these cryptos I have shown recently, as in since like the last few months in time. For the year, practically all of them outperformed Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin's up like 10 times. And we're moving into an interesting time, that being the 4th week of December, also known as Christmas. And there's going to be a lot of people talking to folks and friends and relatives they may only see during this festive time. There's going to be a lot of people whom are going to be just seeing how well some of these cryptocurrencies are doing. And I also think there's going to be more crypto gifts, aka actual Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, you name it, that are actually going to be given as gifts, like than the history ever. It's most likely it's going to be an interesting situation, I think, and a culture shift, a wave, if you will, and maybe a big step in the leaving thus of the early adoption stages to whatever that next step after that would be called. And it's going to go even further. A lot of the people that have noticed that people, friends, family, other associates into cryptocurrencies, a lot of them who are naysayers or maybe unsure, it doesn't make sense. If they never heard of anything, it's such a radical thing that we're seeing, a radical idea, radical results, that after weeks and months of time goes by, especially if they are given, oh, by the way, here's 5 Litecoin, 10 Litecoin, or whatever is given as a gift, that's going to make them a lot more enthusiastic about cryptocurrencies. So I would be very interested to see how this time is going to go. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got a few plans to give out a few cryptocurrencies. So even for myself, there's probably going to be about 6, 7, 8, 10 additional people that are going to be interestingly hearing about this. Now, of course, there's a few people that have been in my life that I can remember talking back with one of my old school friends back in the day, and back in the day is like 1990s and 80s even, as far as back in the day. But earlier this year, I came across the idea of saying, hey man, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, I think it was in April, would have been back in here, about how this was the great new thing. But it just seemed whenever you talk about the subject, there was a lot, I don't know what the fear, intimidation, and then months go by. Oh, have you talked to your wife? Yada, yada. Nope. And just not much of an interest level. So we'll see how this progresses forward, because there's going to be a lot of people whom were naysaying, seeing a lot of this happen, and that's going to bring a very interesting emotional shift, conscious changes with a lot of people. Thank you for tuning in to this late night video. I We'll be back again with the 2.5 minute warning. And if there's ever situations where I'm making videos this time of night, it probably represents one, that I ended up sleeping way too long for like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock nap, which was the case again tonight. And a very low likelihood that the 2.5 minute warning will be a little bit later. But generally speaking, it's pretty easy to get those videos up at around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. There's going to be a lot to talk about because I did all these 3-day time frames. I mean, right now, just recently, the short term, it's moving wild. I'll show you the 1 minute Bitcoin chart and just call it a night. And I mean, it's just wild volatility. And anyone who says what's going on is insane. Research, well, I don't know what the definition of it really is, but insanity I've always heard to be doing the same thing over and expecting a different result, or thinking the same way and expecting a different result kind of deal. So therefore, if you're expecting markets to move like a stock market would, like 5% is a normal decent up move, and 3x is just unheard of. Well, the only reason 3x is unheard of is because 10 and 20x is more heard of. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.